All right, let's cover a couple of other things. It is an increasingly difficult job for the lawyers that have been hired. And I use the term hired loosely because it's never really clear that they're getting paid. The lawyers that have been hired by Donald Trump to defend him and to make the arguments in the court of public opinion or in the media that will really sway anybody. Now, I've already said to you before, the arguments they make on TV, they often will not make in a court of law. And we saw that over the last couple of days. But sometimes it gets to the point where they don't even really have arguments that they can make on TV. And one of Donald Trump's lawyers, Alina Habba, appeared yesterday on Newsmax and all sorts of other media outlets. And nothing that she said was particularly persuasive. One of the claims she tried to make in this first clip is that the reason Trump's buildings are worth so much more than many will acknowledge is because of the intangible value-raising name recognition that calling a building a Trump building has. Now, unfortunately, this isn't true, but here's Alina Habba trying to make this argument.
Number one. Number two, when you have a Trump property, that's a unicorn property. That's what we call that. That's something that has a brand.
That's what we in the business call them.
Value and has real estate value. He's got some of the best buildings in New York. So you want to sit there and tell me, oh, Trump, do you know what a property's worth? It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. It doesn't matter what Letitia James thinks.
Now, the only problem with this argument is that Trump's properties increasingly seem beleaguered by being called Trump whatever. In fact, remember some of these stories from, when was this? From last year. Trump branded New York building looks to remove president's name. Ex-president's name on tower reduces its value. This is the opposite of the argument that Alina Habba is making. Other examples, Business Insider from 2019, all the places that have removed Trump's name since he won in 2016. And there's this whole list of places. 2 ice skating rinks removed Trump signs. 9 other buildings removed Trump signs. So it's just a lie. In fact, not only might the Trump name not increase value, it might diminish value. Here is another one of these clips where it just doesn't sound very convincing.
We'll be ready to grow and we will continue to crush it.
We're going to continue to crush it.
It is what it is. It's an election political ploy. Here we go, Letitia. You know, you made a mistake. You wanted to file, but it's going to be another L in your bucket. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm not finding her super credible nor super persuasive. Here is the same lawyer, Alina Habba, on a different show on, I guess this is also Newsmax. This one's called Rob Schmidt Tonight. And again, I'm not finding her arguments particularly, I really think persuasive is the right word.
Now, the Department of Justice filed this crazy raid pretending it's all these criminal actions because it's around the corner to November. And this is what we like to call an October surprise, which we've seen before.
Yeah. So it's an October surprise in September before a November in which Donald Trump is not actually running. It's not making a lot of sense, Alina. And of course, one of the realities that eventually we just start to bump up against is you can't always defend the indefensible. You just can't. You get to a certain point where, okay, listen, you know what? I don't know. Between the Mar-a-Lago thing and the Georgia thing and the January 6th thing and the New York fraud thing and all of the other things and the alleged rape thing and all these, at some point you just can't you can't continue defending the indefensible. And that's what Trump's lawyers are now up against. And it's quite a pleasure to see, I have to tell you. Hopefully they're at least getting paid, which is a really tough thing to collect when you are working for Donald Trump.